All right, hey everybody, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? I'm here with my main man, Ira Curry, and you know what? Let me tell you something about this guy. Okay, so scrolling through Facebook, you know how it is. You're looking at your feed and stuff, and I'm like, his post really reached me. It's almost like it reached through the screen, grabbed me, pulled me in, and I got very interested very quickly. And so what I did was signed up for his email newsletter, started looking at what he's doing, and Ira is actually doing some big things out here. I'm very excited about what he's doing, and I'm looking forward to the talk of organic reach on Facebook. So I know I'm not a fan personally. I know that organic reach in Facebook is really dropped, but he's got some innovative ways. He's going to give you some food for thought to help you reach some of the people that are out there. So I know it's hard to reach those. You need to be able to focus on revenue generating activities because that's hard. You've got other things to do, and if you're doing everything yourself, that is really really hard and possibly stressful for you. So my guest Ira Curry is going to answer those questions as well as help you answer questions your prospects may have and how to make offers confidently. So, I want to, I want to.
Yo, Jaleel, I'm super excited to be here, man. I'm super excited. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ira. I'm a business coach. A lot of things actually. I do consulting, I do business coaching, I do executive producing, I do a lot of stuff. But I'm super excited to get into the conversation today. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited too, and it's just great to have somebody do this. I mean, I've been in this space for a long time, and I've been watching every year. Organic reach has just been dropping through the floor when it comes to Facebook, and with I want to say maybe 1,800 people like my page. I'm seeing one, two, three views. I'm like, Facebook, what are you doing to me? I give you good money. What are you doing? We're supposed to be friends. We're supposed to be friends, man. So I want to get into it with you, but at first, let people know. I mean, give us a deep dive into who Ira is.
Yeah, who is Ira? I think Ira is someone who's well, I mean, I do a lot of things, right? So I left corporate America 2018 and I started my entrepreneur journey. And it's just been an experience. I mean, one thing's been leading to the next. I started a company. My first company, I grew it extremely quick. And then from there, that took off and it led me into coaching, right? And so I've spent the past 2 to 3 years just helping other people duplicate the success that I've had in business. And a lot of people, they think that you need to do a lot of things that you don't always need to do in the beginning. So organically, I grew my first business to six figures with no Facebook ads, no Facebook groups, no Google ads. I barely even had a website. And I mean, it was not the best website that I did have. So that's who Ari is. He's the guy to help you grow your business organically and a whole bunch of other things as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I like how I like how you say that so cool, calm, and collected. Like, hey, I did it without any ads, and that's really a big deal to a lot of people, right? Because I myself, having a digital marketing agency, um, I tested it out a lot of things with my own dollars before I put things in front of my clients. So they have no real idea of how much I spent on Facebook, Google, testing ads, testing different software. So, um, it's a big deal. Maybe not so much to you, but I think to a lot of our viewers, our listeners, I think it's a big deal on how you can reach people without ads. And so, you want to get a little bit deeper into that on how you make that happen?
Yeah, let's get into it. The thing when it comes to like when it comes to organic, it's like people focus on everything that they shouldn't focus on. And so I always tell people, are you focusing on revenue generating activities? Because a lot of people, they're doing everything that they shouldn't be doing. They're posting all the time. They're sending out broadcast emails. They're going live all the time. They're doing all of these things, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, are you making money? Like, what specific activities are you doing to make money? And it's so funny, Jaleel, because when I came across the concept of revenue generating activities, I was like, wow, that kind of hit home. Like, let me sit down and let me just assess that for a second. Have you ever ran across a term before and you just wanted to sit with it for a second because you started to realize that there was something that you wasn't doing in your business that could ultimately be the thing to shift your business forward. And when I came across the term revenue generating activities, I had to take a step back and I had to say, what was the things that I was doing in my first business that was allowing me to generate revenue? And as I sat back, I started listing out those different things. I started listing out the things that I was doing and that I was focused on a day-to-day basis to actually be generating revenue. And it wasn't what a lot of people be doing today. So I'll say that. I'll say that.
Yeah, I understand. And it took my mentor, and unfortunately he passed. It was his time to head home, but that was one of the things my mentor really beat me up about when he was still around was he's like, look at what you're doing with your time, and then see how that leads to you getting paid. And you, if you do that, if you take that time out to do that, right, then you can actually assess, hey, what's really bringing in money, right? What are those revenue generating activities? Are you making offers? Are you answering the questions that a lot of your prospective clients have? These things are really important because if you're not doing those things, hey, right, how did they get to you getting paid? I mean, that's pretty much why you have a business, right? Right, because you want to
Exactly.
get paid. Uh, so it's one thing to help people out of the kindness, generosity of your heart. If you have a big heart, that's a good thing. But when it comes to business, it doesn't work like that. And I think you understand that from your time in the corporate world, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people they can sometimes run their business based on how they feel. And I think one of the things I'm constantly coaching my people is say you can't run your business based on how you feel. Your business is in business to make a profit. This is not some mom and pop shop. Like we're going to the next level. And a part of going to the next level meaning stepping into your business with a mindset that will put your customers in a position to where they can take you serious as a businessman so that they can take you serious as a businesswoman. One of the things, Jaleel, I'm constantly coaching my people is that conversations equal consultations. Conversations equal consultations. It's so funny, man. I think we live in this magical world where we have all of our funnels and we have all of our fancy websites and we have all of this stuff that looks so great, and we just magically think that people are going to go and click our links and land on our page and buy our products. Like, yeah, a percentage of that is going to do that, but it's a very low percentage. I was having a conversation with a friend in Australia the other day, and I was telling him, like, man, the click through ratio with emails is 1%, like on average. And that's a good click through ratio. And so the thing that I want people to know is that if the click through ratio is that low, then you're just basically you're gonna have to get a lot more people to join those email lists and all of that. But what if you could focus on the things that is going to make you money? Like what if you can focus on one activity each day that would generate you consultations? Because at the end of the day, people do business with people they know, they like, and they trust. And conversations equal consultations. So that tells me one thing: I need to be on the phone with people. I need to be telling people what it is that I have to offer. I need to be telling people what it is that I do and how I can help them make that jump from where they currently are to their desired situation. And I think that goes to generating consultations. Like, and so that becomes a question: how do we generate consultations at that point?
Yeah, I love that, man. I'm gonna say that, man. Just don't put your legal team on me. But conversations equal consultations, right? And then consultations lead to conversions, right?
They do.
Converting from a prospect to a client or a customer. Uh, and so those things are really important, right? And I agree with you. I mean, email. I Some people we have this conversation about email being dead, and really I don't think that it's dead. Otherwise, corporate companies wouldn't spend so much money doing that. I myself was in corporate as email marketing manager for a huge multi-billion dollar company, and I think I sent over 4 million emails during my time there, right? But I'm sure they wouldn't do it if it wasn't bringing money in. But again, that effectiveness has gone down over time, right? Human behavior, people caught on to it and they're like, all right, that's cool. I know this email is going to sell me something. So yeah, I don't know if I want to open that, okay? Because I'm not ready to buy. With that, right? I mean, how do you get someone, or how do you get one of your clients to get out there, start having those conversations that lead to consultations, right? But
Yeah,
then there's another missing element there of how do you how do you get those offers out there using organic traffic?
absolutely. That's a great option. And that's something that a lot of people they know, but they don't necessarily really relate to. Back in the days, Jaleel, when I used to work in car sales, we used to have to go door to door and just knock on doors and get people to buy products. Or we would have to pick up the phone and call random strangers and tell them about what it is that we do and who the company was that we represented, right? And so nowadays, I tell people, like, you can't go door to door. Like, I'm not going to be showing up at nobody's door in a suit. I don't have time for that. I'd rather go inbox to inbox. And that's what a lot of people are missing out on. Cold DMs is a strategy that still works today, and I always tell people that if your business is making less than six figures, you've got to be doing cold DMs. You've got to be going inbox to inbox. You've got to be having conversations with people behind the scenes, telling them about what it is that you do, how you do it, and why you can do it for them. Because as you start to flow in that, and as you start to be consistent with a proven process of constantly reaching out to people, they're going to constantly be getting on the phones. I like to tell people that in the beginning, when I first started my companies, when I was at $0, the way that I made money, the way that I got my companies to six figures was I got in your DM, I got in your box. That's right. I was showing up in your inbox. And for the people that connected with me, for the people that moved forward, they actually got on a call with me. And so that's the goal. We want to take people from the inbox to the phones. Because if I can get you on the phone, I'm going to use my personality, I'm going to use my charm, I'm going to use my grace and my wisdom to tell you about the great things that I'm doing in my business and how my business can help you go to the next level. I'm not sending people to a sales page anymore. I'm not sending people to a sales page and just having them go on for 5 seconds and then click off of that page. And that's what the statistic shows. And I'll just tell you that when it comes to corporate America, those guys, they can be really good on emails because they build their brands, man. Like, they have millions of email addresses. So that 1% where people are clicking, guess what? It turns out to be about 10,000 customers. But for somebody like
Hmm.
the entrepreneurs like myself and other entrepreneurs that I'm coaching who's been in the game 5 years, who've been in the game less than 10 years, those are the people that they don't have that big email list to where they can go crazy. So it all boils down to, as a recap, I'm going to take you from the DM, I'm going to get you on the phone, and I'm going to show you through my sales script how I'm going to show you what I offer on this call and how my company can basically solve your problem. Yeah, that's what it goes to.
Yeah, I agree with you. And and I think a lot of people are disillusioned into thinking that, hey, my sales page is going to close it. And that's it's okay, right? It's got a lot of good information. It's probably got a bunch of testimonials. If you put a lot of money into it, it was professionally written. It's hitting all the right buttons, right? But that's never a substitute for, like you said, the personality, the grace, the charm, the this is what I've done for other people. Making that one-on-one connection with someone on the phone. And I've realized that a lot of people are scared to get on the phone. One, because they don't know what to say. I think it's either that or some combination of they're scared of no, right? And so between being scared of no and then also not really knowing what to say, not having a sales script, um, they're missing out on a ton of opportunities because they're not making that connection. And so I can relate with you, Ira. It's funny that you said, you were at the selling cars, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, yeah. I was doing working for a lawn care company. They sent me out with this funky looking wheel on a stick, and I would measure people's lawns and then go up to their door and knock on it and say, "Hey, I got a quote. We're the best lawn care company on the planet. We could take care of your yard." And I can't count how many times a Doberman chased me off, or somebody's like, "I'm going to get my pistol," and I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, wait! It's just grass, man. Like, take it easy." And so over time, I say all of that just to say that over time, I got comfortable, and at first I was pressured. But then after a while, when I understood the company's value proposition and I went back to my boss and then I went back out there, I was like, listen, if this isn't for you, this is cool, because right, Ira, this is not, sometimes you're talking to people and it's not for them. Isn't there some level where you've got to be real with yourself and you've got to be real with them to let them know that even though you're positive you can get results. maybe they're not a good fit because they're not ready, they're not in a good place, whether it's financially, mentally, the position of their business, or you know, you as a salesman, right? Your gut feelings telling you, mm-mm, mm-mm,
Yeah.
right? This isn't the one. So you got any feedback on that?
Yeah, I deny people all the time. I deny people because they're not a good fit for what it is that I do. And you got to be thinking as a business owner that you don't want to help everybody. Like you help everybody, you get nobody. You're targeted to help a certain amount of people. There's this perception with the new entrepreneurs that are coming up that I got to help everybody, because if I help everybody, then if I don't say that I help everybody, then I miss out on the people that I can help. But you got to get specific. You got to talk about what type of entrepreneurs you help. You got to talk about what type of founders that you help. It just can't be I help entrepreneurs grow their business. It's got to be I help credit repair entrepreneurs grow their business. I help business credit entrepreneurs grow their business. I help entrepreneurs who are starting a podcast grow their business. I help men and women who are below 60 get their weight up. Like whatever it is for you, you got to get specific. What I've learned in this journey is that you've got to get specific. The people that are specific, they make the most money. And the people that are not specific, they don't make the most money. I used to go back and forth with myself. I would be like, man, well, I want to tell credit repair people, which is a business that I came out of. I want to tell credit repair people that I help them grow their business, but I don't want to limit myself to just that. And what I've discovered is that the people that are meant for you, your tribe that is connected to you, they're going to connect to you whether you say that you help whoever it is that you help. And they will oftentimes come to you and say, hey, I want you to help me do what you are helping this group of people do. I will also say that when people, I wanted to come in on something you said earlier. People who may feel like they have that fear of getting on the phones because they don't know what to say. You don't know what you don't know. And so the best way to know is to get someone that's done it. Like copy their process. We're not here to reinvent the wheel. Most times when people reinvent the wheels, they're not successful. They spend years trying to figure it out because business is set up to be done in a certain way. And a lot of people are just wasting their time. A lot of people are just finding frustrations because they're trying to do everything on their own. They're going to YouTube trying to figure it out. They're going to the Facebook groups trying to figure it out. And the thing about what you're trying to do is that, like, you don't know what you don't know. And if you don't get in contact with the people who know, or invest in the trainings with people who have been through the struggle, then you're going to waste a lot of time in the journey. So as a recap, don't accept everyone as a business owner. Like don't. Like you should not be helping everybody. You should be okay with telling people no. I told a client last week, hey, based on what you said, honestly, we're just not a good fit. But hey, here's what I recommend. I recommend you check out this person, or hey, here's a referral to this person. It wasn't to get money, it was just to keep this person from getting into what I'm doing because it's not a part of what they should be doing. And I think that's a true business owner. They have standards. What are your standards, right? What is the thing that you're going to stand for? What will you stand for in your business? What will you not stand for in your business? And then the second thing is you don't know what to say because you haven't invested in the programs that is going to teach you what to say, that is going to train you on how to do it. So invest in yourself. You're not supposed to know it all as a CEO. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's very true because that's why there's that corporate structure. There's a CEO, the COO, the CTO, the CMO, right? And each one of
Right.
those executives is responsible for another pillar of this business that you're growing. And I agree with you 100%. Sales is important. I've invested in sales program. I spent 10K. I went into a program, showed up every week, met some really good people I still do business with today, right, through that program. So not only did I want to say I got my money back,
Oh, you
and
did.
some of the people I met. Yeah. But it was pretty cool, right? I did that. I invested in training programs online. I go to conferences. And it really hurt my heart when COVID hit because I love going to conferences. Get my plane, fly into Arizona, go stay at the Crown Plaza with the golf course, right? Get my breakfast, my omelet made for me, and I go out there strong, man, and make some connections. But I'm with you, and I made that mistake of offering my services, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way, but I'm just coming straight forward with it. And sometimes it's going to be pearls among swine. If you know my favorite book, then you know what I'm talking about, right? And so some people, I don't want you to take it personal. Let me go ahead and zoom in here on just me
So,
so I can say this. If you're watching, I want you to be able to see me. So what I'm telling you is that I don't want you to get down. It's happened to me. It's happened to Ira, and that you offer this great product, the service that you have, and it just doesn't work with the person, and you get down because you're like, man, I got the best thing since sliced bread, but they don't want it. That's what I mean about pearls among swine. I'm not calling anybody a pig. I'm just saying that it's not for everybody, right? It's just not for everybody. So remember that. And you're going to turn away more people than you accept, like Ira. And I've spoken with other people. I got other friends, Ryan, and a bunch of other people. They're the same way. I've called Ryan up. I'm like, dude, I got slammed on Google review. Did you see? He's like, yeah, yeah. I was like, how many people you turning away? He was like 40 to 50%. I was like, oh, I'm behind the curve, my man. Right? I need to turn away more people. And I think what you're going to find is, and I found in business in almost 13 years with my agency, is that you'll see people come back. I've had people come back to me after 6 years, after 8 years. And they're like, Jaleel, yo, you gave me the truth, man. Like, I see it now. I wasted a lot of money between our last conversation and now, but I get it. And so I have another analogy, and you please feel free to steal this one, Ira, if you want to, right? If you're a strawberry farmer and you're walking through looking at your strawberries and you're doing good, you got your basket with you, and you're like, that red one, that's juicy. That one's ready to go. You put it in your basket, right? You go down. Oh, this one, it's got a little green in it, right? You don't throw that strawberry away, do you? You come back out next week, you take a peek at it. All right, yeah, you're ready, right? And so I use that analogy just to say that example to say sometimes you run into people and they're not ready. They're not ready. They're on their journey, but they're not quite ready for what you have to offer, right? So that's the example. And I love what you said earlier about, copying processes, right? Don't reinvent the wheel. Use that. Take what's useful from that process that you're copying, and then discard what's not useful, right? Add to what's going to work for you. Because I have a feeling you did that, right? Right, Ira?
I did do that. I did do that. And going back to what you said is that the vibe has to be there. It's all about the vibe that you're getting with your customer. Like having your customer like when you're on the phone with people, you can get a sense of who they are and what it is that they, what it is that they need, right? And so I've always chosen to be very selective about the people that I've always chose to work with. Now, I think there are some moments when we just get started and maybe we have a business where we just honestly have to take what we're being sent, right? But even still, you still got to set some type of standards that, hey, if I notice as a CEO that this customer is just not matching up to what it is that I know that I need in my business, like if they're not going to have the success, you cannot like do the disjustice of taking them on as a customer. And I just wanted to touch that, man. Like the vibe, it's got to be there with the customer. I think that's huge. The vibe's got to be there.
Yeah, it definitely has to. And I hear people say win-win, and I think one of the first times, the second time I heard that, I kept thinking, I was like, how can you have a win-win situation? How do you get a situation where everybody involved wins? And so I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? This one's too tough for me. Let me phone a friend. I called my mentor up. I was like, yo, Doc Scott, what does that mean? And he's like, listen, it's simple. And I love this guy, man. I miss him a lot. He's like, listen to me, stupid. He was like, it's like this, okay? He was like, you need case studies and testimonials on your website, don't you? True. Yes, sir. Right. So he was like, why would you take on somebody who's not going to be a great case study for you? Why would you take on somebody who's not a great testimonial for you? Right. Aren't you digging your own grave with that? Right. So, I loved it. I loved that guy. He was really direct. He was really I wanted to fight him the first time I met him, honestly. Like it came off a little bit disrespectful, but he had a big heart, and he meant what he was talking about. And if you listen beyond, you know, what's slightly offensive at times, he was hitting it right on the head. And so I say all of that again to say, what Ira is saying is true, is that, you're going to turn away a lot of people. You're going to find out, the experience is going to teach you. You're going to take on somebody you think is a good fit. You're going to learn a lesson. They're going to learn a lesson. The ideas that you take from that, remember that, don't do it again. right? And then keep it moving. And so with all of that, man, I want to get back to you, Ira, because we're getting close with this episode. And again, with friends like my friend Paul Sokol and everything, you're more than welcome to come back and talk again. I've really enjoyed this, and I'm sure the listeners and viewers are too. But tell us a little bit more about, how you help. For those of you watching, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up Ira's site here. Uh,
Yeah.
so how do you help?
Man, I help in several different ways. I help with business coaching, right? And this is an entrepreneur training program. I tell people all the time we were trained to be an employee, but we were not trained to be an entrepreneur. Who's training us to be an entrepreneur? Who's training us to be the leaders of the next generation? Who's going to assist us? In corporate America, we got the CEO who's reporting. We got everyone reporting to the CEO, but now we're basically going out as an entrepreneurs, working as CEOs in our own companies, not somebody else's company. So who do we hire? Who do we look to? And it's a coach. And so that's what I do. I'm a business coach and I help entrepreneurs. I coach them through the things in their business that they struggle with, right? Maybe you're struggling to overcome mindset things. Maybe you're struggling to care about what people think about you, or you're struggling with going live, or you're struggling with mindset things that you may deal with, or you may be physically struggling in your business like most people. You can't grow your business. And so I help people in a couple of ways. The free 5-day lead challenge, that is a challenge that's actually coming up towards the end of this month, and it helps people grow their business and get leads organically. So the stuff that we're having a conversation on today, this is what you're going to learn in the free 5-day unlimited lead challenge. The other ways I help an entrepreneur is mindset, right? Like, if we don't think like the next level, then we're not going to get to the next level. Like, you got to have the thoughts of the next level leader before you become the next level that you're hoping to become. And so that's all happening on the Ira Curry show. It's something new that I recently released. It's coming out soon. And then I think those are the main things. Yeah, I mean, I got a mentorship program for men. You guys can check that out. But this is the best way to connect with me, iracurry.com/connect. It's kind of like a one-stop shop for the entrepreneurs.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, I see you, man, as a model of modesty here, man. But tell me more about that Ira Curry show, man. I've seen your trailer, so it piqued my interest. Tell me about that.
Man, dude, I'm super pumped. The Ira Curry show is going down in the DM. Is that what the young folks say? No, so the Ira Curry show is essentially, it's an ideal and it's a concept where it's a virtual reality show, right? But it's for entrepreneurs. And so I bring on certain entrepreneurs who have influence in their industry, right? They've gone out, they've done big things. Ultimately, they are considered to be celebrity entrepreneurs, or either they're becoming celebrity entrepreneurs. And so the whole concept behind that is I'm just interviewing these people, right? To get their mindset and to get their takes on certain things, right? And I think it's one of the things. I mean, it's so exciting. It's so much that I can't talk about, that I want to talk about, that I shouldn't talk about, that I'm not going to talk about because I'm not supposed to talk about it just yet. But it's going to be released. So the first few episodes should be coming out. It could be any day now, or at least within the next few weeks. But it's going to be lit. It's going to be powerful, and it's exactly what an entrepreneurs need to be listening to on the go while they are doing their day-to-day activities, because essentially these conversations are going to shift you into the next level of leadership as well. So can't wait for that. It's going to be super exciting.
Yeah, I am too. I can't wait. So, maybe we can revisit or talk about that a little bit later. But I'm looking forward to what you got going on. It's exciting. And so, if you guys haven't caught it yet, we're running out of time. So go to iracurry.com/connect. You'll see everything there that he's got. He's got 5-day challenge coming up. He's got a 15K a month cheat sheet. He's got the Ira Curry show coming that he can't tell us everything about, but at least you know about it through the Marketing Philosophy podcast. And he does mentorship. He's got his entrepreneur trainee program. So there's a lot involved there, and I love everything that you're working on, which is why we're doing this right now, right? I see a lot of people's Facebook ads, and that doesn't mean I sign up for their list and have them on my show. I only promote people that I would mess with myself, because that's just how it is. And I'm the same way with systems I use. I never refer anybody to something that I never use or am using, whatever. Uh, that's just how I am. That's part of my values and who I am. So uh, it's been an honor, a pleasure to have you here, Ira. You know, when you got something else going on, if you happen to be in Houston doing an event, you know what I mean? We could do this again. We could do it live. We could do a live stream, right? Uh, and do that. So it's been great to connect with you. Anything else you want to say to the people before we bounce on this episode?
I just want everybody to step into who the person that you know that you was called to be. So your business is asking you to be something that you may not be right now. So you got to step into that character, right? And what is that for you? You know, one of the things I do is I tell the entrepreneurs that I coach is to sit with your business on Friday and ask your business, what is my business trying to teach me, right? What is it that my business is trying to show me about what I need to be doing? What moves do I need to be making? What things do I need to let go? What people, places, or things that I once used to be connected with that I'm no longer connected with? What is it that is asking me to let go of? So I would just tell you guys to like step into your identity, step into who God has called you to be, step into who the character is required as you move into this next level of leadership. Because an entrepreneurship is not for the weak. So you got to get strong. Like, and the best way to do that is to get around the people that are like you. Hang with entrepreneurs because you are who you hang around. That's what I would say.
Absolutely, absolutely. One of my favorite motivational speakers, Miss Mamie's baby boy, Les Brown says that too. You know, you're hanging around a bunch of friends that smoke. Guess what? Nine friends out of 10 that smoke, you're gonna be number 10, right? So that's a big thing for me is proximity. The people that you're around, they believe some of the same things you do. Maybe they've accomplished some of the things that you want to accomplish, and they can help you. So it's really important. You know, it's not that you're kicking friends to the to the curb. You're not ghosting people. But one of the ways I love to say it is, I have compartments for my friends. I have a compartment, right? I got friends at game. I got friends at ball. I got friends I can lift weights with at the gym, right? I got friends I can talk about business stuff. So don't throw your friends to the curb. Put them in the bucket where they belong, you know, and that's what you talk about. That's what you do. So thanks again, Ira, for coming out, showing up, and showing out. I love that, and can't wait to see you on the next episode. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and we're gonna do this again. See you soon.
Thanks for having me.